Okay, I'm streaming. Okay, so I've already seen this video a couple times, but this new video by Brewster released 2 days ago is amazing. It is so good. And I've experienced something extremely similar to what he's about to describe. So I'm going to play the video, and then at the end I'll give some comments.
Well, this story's pretty embarrassing, but I'm gonna tell it anyways. And it's a story about the One Chip Challenge. And for those of you that don't know what the One Chip Challenge is, well, it's a single tortilla chip that's supposed to be the spiciest, most hottest tortilla chip in the world. Now, I didn't know anything about it until my wife brought it home from the store one day. Hey, I bought this spicy tortilla chip at Circle K for $9. Isn't that funny? What? You spent $9 on a single tortilla chip? No, that's not funny. What are you, nuts? I gotta say, this thing is a little intimidating to look at. I mean, it's packaged in a box that's shaped like a coffin. It's not very promising. But how bad can it be? I mean, I can handle spicy food pretty well. I mean, besides that time I had that extraordinarily hot jalapeno popper at Frickers that one time, and I had to excuse myself from the table before I cried in front of my wife. But that was a different story, all right? This is just a single tortilla chip we're talking about. But then one of our friends came over later that day, and he seen it on the counter and was like, whoa, is that the One Chip Challenge? Who's the fucking idiot that's about to eat that? Well, I was thinking about doing it. Why, is it really hot? Really hot? Huh. Well, let me just say that the heat is not the worst part about it. Well, with that cryptic-ass statement, I was in no hurry to do the One Chip Challenge. So that chip sat on the counter for a good, I don't know, 8 months or so. That is until one day, I made a little wager with one of our kids. And yes, side note, we do have kids. I don't like to bring them up in these shitty cartoons because, well, they're all over the internet, and there's a bunch of weirdo perverts out there. But with that being said, it's all their fucking fault that I ate this goddamn thing. Because you see, I made a bet that I would do the One Chip Challenge if a certain child sacked the quarterback at his next football game. Well, wouldn't you know, his little ass went all Michael Strahan the following Sunday, and now I'm in the kitchen staring down a fucking tortilla chip. And of course, everybody's crammed in the kitchen staring at me like I'm some kind of circus act, but I was still pretty confident at this point. I can handle hot stuff. I've chewed a stick of big red gum before. How much spicier can it be? Made with Carolina Reapers. Carolina Reapers? That sounds like a fucking XFL football team. I'm not afraid of that shit. So I take the chip out of the coffin, and I don't really know what I was expecting, but, well, this thing looks like a dried up triangular dog turd. And to prove it, here's a video of me eating it, and to my surprise, it fucking tastes like a triangular dried up dog turd. It is the nastiest thing I've ever tasted in my life. It was so bad, I felt like they should have had a warning on the box like, caution, this thing tastes like the roof of somebody's asshole. So like 15 seconds go by, and I have no heat whatsoever. I start thinking, maybe I got a dud. Maybe it's expired. Did I wait too long? What the hell happened? And just when I thought that, oh God, I can't breathe. Somebody give me a goddamn glass of milk. Needless to say, this chip is hotter than a stick of fucking big red gum, that's for sure. It is the hottest thing I've ever had in my life. At this point, everybody in the kitchen is just concerned about my general well-being. Here I am at the sink trying to hold it together and trying not to fucking cry like the Frickers incident all over again.
Tyler, are you okay?
Now, thankfully, the heat only lasts for about 15 minutes or so. So once you hit that 15-minute mark, you're in the clear. Or so I thought. Because what I found out is that the heat doesn't go away, it just moves on down to your stomach. So now it feels like this goddamn chip is just hanging out down there, melting my insides with a hairdryer. Well, now how am I gonna solve this conundrum? Well, I'll tell you what I did. I fucking ate an ice cream cone. Seemed like a good idea at the time. It seemed like that ice cream cone would go down there and start beating that chip's ass. And that seemed to be the case until my stomach was like, yeah, apparently that ice cream cone wasn't beating the chip's ass. It was fucking playing patty cake with it instead. Now, all of a sudden, I get these stomach pains out of nowhere, and they are debilitating. I'm laying on the couch making my peace with God. Take me now. Pretty, please. Now, eventually, dinner time rolls around, and on this particular night, we just so happen to have a big old pan of lasagna. Now, I know what you're thinking. He wouldn't eat lasagna on top of an ice cream cone, on top of a bunch of milk with a fucking devil chip inside of him. That wouldn't make any sense. Well, you're wrong, because I ate a big-ass fucking plate of it. My stomach at this point was like, oh, what the fuck? What are you trying to ruin us? I'd have a better chance of digesting a fucking alarm clock than any of this shit. So I eat a thick-ass piece of lasagna, and to my surprise, the stomach cramps go away. Oh my God, it's over. I did it. But wait a minute, there's more. A lot more?
Yep.
So much more. Because at this point, the chip transfers over to my intestines, and my intestines were like, no thank you, you can go fuck yourself with that, and promptly sends it right to my asshole. Now, I don't know if you've ever had the pleasure of an on-fire butthole before, but let me tell you, it's not as fun as it sounds. For the next 45 minutes, my ass transforms into like a fucking malfunctioning flamethrower. And of course, it's noisy as hell in there. There's no way I could be discreet at this point. Sounds like there's fucking 14 people taking a shit at once in there. Are you all right? Should I call the cops? The whole time I'm sitting there, all I can think about is, oh, that's why they put the chip in a coffin, because the coffin is for your asshole afterwards. Now I get it. So after a very unpleasant, very emotional trip to the bathroom, it's finally over. And I'm so pissed off at this point. I'm just like yelling a stream of obscenities at the toilet, taking all my anger out on it. Fuck you, you fucking punk-ass tortilla chip. I hope you...
So this is very similar to the experience I had with a ghost pepper. So, there's this dude at my school that used to sell these super hot peppers. And he was selling goddamn Carolina Reapers. I don't know if you know what a Carolina Reaper is, but that shit is so hot. Here, I haven't eaten one, but I know people who have. How hot is a Carolina Reaper? Carolina Reaper is 2 million Scoville units. I ate a ghost pepper. Bought it for about $5. Now I did not eat the whole thing. I split it with somebody else, and he's currently growing. He currently took the seeds out, and he's growing his own ghost peppers. Anyway, bought it for about $5 from this dude, and he said, so there's about 1 million Scoville units. It's about 300 times hotter than Tabasco. Now, Tabasco's not super hot, but if you eat enough of it, it's gonna start to hurt. A ghost pepper, holy shit. God. So I'm just gonna describe the events from the first minute to the last. So, he told me that it's about 300 times spicier than Tabasco, and of course my dumbass got all the oils all over my fucking hands, because I'm a dumbass. So, I ate the pepper. Within about a second, threw the stem away, of course, you can't eat that. And God help me. Jesus Christ. So, it took about 5 seconds to kick in. And boom! Hit me like a goddamn freight train. I felt like I was gonna die. Within about a minute, I was so lightheaded that I barely remember what happened. But, as I remember, I got up out of my seat, fucking dying, spitting all over the floor because what else am I supposed to do when my head's on fire? So, I go over to this line that's got the lunch and shit, right? And I go buy some milk. That milk did barely anything. That barely helped. That did jack shit. So, I got up out of my seat, went to the water fountain. That made it worse, somehow. Don't know how that's possible, but it made it worse. Spitting all over the floor, my head's on fire. I look like a god. I look like this. I look like this shit. That's exactly how I looked, but spitting. So I go down, sit down, hit my head on the table to prevent myself from dying. My whole head's numb. My whole body hurts. I'm sweating my ass off. My next thought is, okay, so there's ghost pepper oil on my hands. Let me rub my face like a dumb shit. So I do that. My face is in so much pain. I'm crying my eyes out because I got all the oil all over my eyes. So this dude calls the nurse. Nurse does jack shit. It doesn't do anything. Like, I don't know why he called the nurse. But I felt that pain. My head was in so much pain for hours, probably 2 hours after this. I was in band class. I could barely even walk. And Altoids, which are just full of sugar. This was not like the spicy type Altoids with like cinnamon and shit. This was like candy Altoids. It was like strawberry or some shit. But anyway, so I ate that Altoid. I ate like 1,000 of them. Did nothing. And then, so now I'm in English class about 2 hours or so after I ate the pepper. And I'm sitting there trying to read this goddamn book with my stomach feeling like it's about to explode. These stomach cramps I can't even describe. I thought that I had been in the worst stomach pain I've ever had in my life prior to this. Nope. This was definitely the worst. every time I moved, I would break a sweat and my entire body would hurt. So I just had to sit in the same position for hours, trying not to die. So I got home, my stomach feels like it's about to explode, and I tell my dad about this experience, about this goddamn hellspawn. He says that he's gonna go grab some milk to keep me from dying. He comes home with the milk. I'm sitting there, of course, eating spicy chips like the dumb shit that I am. And then he brings over this milk. I drink a lot. I drink a lot of milk. It does something, kind of, but barely helps. Which, this stomach pain has to be the worst pain I've experienced in years. This is the worst pain I have felt since I got bitten by a dog. Believe it or not. So, yeah. And then later that day, around 8 o'clock, the stomach pain's still there, kicking my ass. I'm sitting on the toilet, trying with this pepper burning me a new asshole. So, here's some advice for peppers. Don't eat them. Don't eat spicy shit like this. You're going to kill yourself. And to this day, my PE clothes, my jacket, like half of my possessions smell like this goddamn pepper. And every time I sweat, it smells like a ghost pepper. So, my advice for eating a ghost pepper, don't. You are going to die. You are going to want to die. You're going to want God to take you up to heaven. Or you could go to hell. I don't really give a shit. Either way, you're dead. So, just don't do it. Just don't. Don't. And if you think you can handle it, you can't. You can't handle it. In fact, let's watch Sean Evans, the Spice Lord himself. Sean. Okay, if it decides to type. Sean Evans. God, what the hell? Evans eating ghost pepper. Here we are. So take it from the Spice Lord himself. Here he is.
This is the world famous ghost pepper.
These are scorpions, right? These are the Carolina Reapers.
Yeah, and they are the world famous number one, the hottest pepper on the planet.
We're gonna flip a coin on this.
Are you sure?
We're gonna leave it up
So-
to fate.
My friend ate a Thai chili, which is about 500 Scoville units. I ate this goddamn pepper. Well, when he ate that, he was dead. He could barely talk. He was like trying not to die. Here. World's ship Scoville. So one of my other friends, who apparently loves spice, even though I don't think he does, says that he ate the world's hottest pepper, that Pocky 1 chip, which is 2 million Scoville units. And he said he had no response. No response to the hottest chip in the world. Now me, a guy who eats spicy shit for fun, who is constantly eating spicy shit. My favorite chip is Takis. My favorite thing to put in ramen is hot sauce. But this guy says, with a 2 million Scoville chip, that he had no response. Didn't even sweat. That is hot bullshit. Because if Sean Evans, the king of spicy shit, ate a Pocky 1 chip and was dying, if he couldn't even handle that, how is this dumbass little fucking 15-year-old going to deal with the spiciest chip in the world? He's not. So if somebody says that they ate something that hot and have no response, they're lying, because there's no way they have no response. And if people that eat spicy shit on the regular can hardly handle this type of shit, there's no way they can. So, yeah, that's